And this is Ken Kreitzer for CBSI Services and the Direct Marketing Club of New York. We just had a very nice lunch speaker here at the New York Yankees restaurant in Midtown Manhattan, Bernie Borges and his company FindandConvert, based down in the Tampa, Florida area. Bernie, enjoyed your presentation. You have you're working with a lot of big name brand companies, and you talked about your 3-layer framework for marketing. Tell us, how'd you come up with that concept?
So the way that I came up with the concept of the 3-layer framework for marketing is based on the fact that the way that consumers respond to messaging these days, it really is most effective when it comes from the employee. And so how do you get the employee involved in your marketing? Well, this 3-layer framework is really, the outer layers are storytelling and marketing. So it's all about harnessing the storytelling potential of the employees, which are the middle layer of that ice cream sandwich framework. That 3-layer framework, the metaphor is in an ice cream sandwich. So it's all about the marketing department's role to harness all the potential that exists within the employees and focus on getting great stories out of them that resonate with their target consumer.
And you mentioned, the importance of storytelling as an asset in communication, but also being cross-functional, getting stories representative across the company. Sometimes that's difficult. Some areas are more used to talking to the media, let's say, or to in a marketing context. How do you get representation from across the company to participate?
Well, first you have to start with the acknowledgement that the real domain expertise within any company is within the employees that are actually doing the delivery of products and services, whether it's a retailer or a law firm, it doesn't matter what industry. The expertise is within the rank and file employee, right? So the way that you get them to actually participate is you've got to create a culture internally that makes it safe, makes it easy, it empowers them, has technology and tools that actually, again, make it easy for them so that they understand the why as well as the how. And then the role of marketing is just to make that as easy as possible for them. The storytelling doesn't actually have to come from the employees. The employees can tell a story internally. The marketing team needs to package that up, create the story out of that, and then take that story and publish it through whatever publishing means they choose to publish it.
And one of the questions we had was that it sounds a little bit like public relations, but what you're talking about is a much broader communication strategy than public relations.
Yeah, there's a concept that I really have embraced called employee advocacy. So it's really the notion that the employee is the best ambassador for any brand. So while some industries have some regulations that really, put some restrictions on what the employee can say, if a brand can really put a good governance policy in place, and by the way, I think governance is a good word, not a bad word, but a governance policy that clearly explains how the employees can participate, how they can do storytelling. When you put that in place, then you can really empower employees in a way that is friendly to them and really effective.
Absolutely, and you had some neat case examples of Dell computers, and also NASA. You complimented them as a government agency that knows how to tell their story well. Why were those two case examples? Why did they stood out for you?
Well, in the case of Dell, they're a 110,000 employee company. And they have an internal university that they call SMAC-U, Social Media and Community University. And they've trained thousands and thousands of their employees to learn how to do storytelling, how to use social media, how to create content, and do it in a way that actually adds value to the business. And then they're measured on their performance on how they take these new skills and actually apply them to their job. So I like the university concept, and I also like the fact that they're really focused on business results. In the case of NASA, they're a government agency that behaves like a brand because they share everything that's going on within all their different space programs, and they empower the heads of those space programs and the people that work within those space programs to actually be the ones to communicate it. So they don't centralize it through a marketing team. They actually spread it out to the actual space program leaders and staff and empower them through good governance and good training on how to actually do the storytelling.
Well, that's great. It reminds me of what I see from the U.S. military, showcasing the great work done by sailors and soldiers, airmen across the country. How did you get in this field? How did you kind of develop your thoughts on this field?
So I grew up in sales, spent the first 10 years of my career in technology sales, and then I migrated over into marketing. Sometimes I call it the dark side. I went into marketing, and I've just really never left. I fell in love with the fact that the role of marketing is to reach the customer in order to impact the ability for a brand to sell. So the relationship between marketing and sales is something that I understood early on, and I still don't understand why marketing and sales in general is not a good relationship across many brands. So I decided to launch an agency about 14 years ago that really helps companies, mostly B2B companies, really develop their content strategy, their social strategy, so that they can sell more.
And I know you're speaking at a conference in New York this week. What are some of the ways that an interested person can see more of your material and keep up with you on social media?
Well, my name is very easily Googled, Bernie Borges, Borges. So just Google that, or you can go to socialbusinessengine.com, which is where we have my podcast, or my agency is FindandConvert.com.
Bernie Borges, great to see you here at the Direct Marketing Club of New York. Thank you for your talk today.
Thank you, Ken.
Pleasure. This is Ken Kreitzer for the Direct Marketing Club of New York and CBSI Services.